Hello everyone, welcome to this video lecture. In this lecture, we are going to see list property and table property. List property is used to create a list. There are two types of list, unordered list and ordered list. By default, unordered list, the list item marker is going to be bullets, and ordered list, it may be either number or letters in the list item markers. And we have about 4 list properties here: list style type, list style image, and list style position, and list style. Let's see one by one with an example. I have here list style image. In this, an image is used as the list item marker, and we can set this property to none or an image. In case if you have an image, you may have to specify the URL of the image as a value to list style image. Let's see an example here. Here is an example. The URL tag, I specified the list style image as a image which is film.png. So let's see how it's going to work. Let me open the file list style image.html. So this is the file which I opened. You can see here the images are appearing as a list item marker, right? So this is how the list style image can be used. The next property we have list style type. It specifies the appearance of the list item marker in the absence of list style image, or if the value is specified to none to the list style image, this property will work. It has got different types of values: none, disk, circle, square, and decimal leading to 0, lower Roman. All different values are there. Let's see an example for this. Here I specified list style type as upper alpha. Let's see how it's going to work. You can specify whichever value you require. So now I'm going to open this file. Let us see how it's going to work. List style type. Okay, upper alpha I gave, so it's appearing in upper alpha. In case if I change it to lower Roman, even it's going to appear in a lower Roman. Let me show you here. I'll change this value to lower Roman. Okay, lower Roman I changed. Let me save this. Now I'm going to execute here. So you can make out the changes. It's appearing in a lower Roman, right? Next property we have list style position. It specifies the position of the list item maker. You can set this property to either inside or outside. For example, list style position inside, if you say, it will come a bit inside in the browser. If you say outside, a bit outside in the browser. Okay, comparing the previous content. Let's see an example for this. Okay, here is an example. I specify list style position as outside. Okay, let's see how it's going to appear in the screen. Control O, open the file. List style position. You can make out how it's appearing, right? Now let me change this to inside. Now I have given outside, right? Now I'll be changing into inside. You can make a slight difference will be there. Now I saved this. Let us execute. So it's coming a bit inside. So this is how the list style position property will work. Next we have list style property, where we can specify in one declaration all the types. Like for example, list style, I gave square and inside. Both the values I have given in the same declaration, right? So this is how the list style property can be used. The order of the list style property values are: first you may have to specify the list style type, then list style position, then the image has to be specified. Let's see an example for this. So here is an example. I specified list style in one declaration. It must be square and inside. Let's see how it's executing. Control O. List style image I gave. Let us see. So everything is appearing. Okay, I have not saved, I think. Let me save this file and let me execute. Yeah, I've executed. So it could be achieved in even in single declaration as well, right? In single declaration also you can able to achieve this task. Next we have different types of table properties, that is border, border collapse, and border spacing, caption side, empty cells, table layout. These are the different properties we have for a table. Let's see one by one. So here is an border property which is used for a table. Like you can specify for a table, table header or table data. Wherever you require a border, you may specify the element selector over there, and you can specify the border values. That is border, and the first one it says about the thickness of the border 2 pixel. You can also give a thick, thin, even those predefined text also can be given, and it's supposed to be solid we told here, and the color in red we have told, right? So this is how the border property can be set for a table. Let's see an example for this. Okay, here is an example regarding the employee information which is set into the table. Here I have employee name, employee ID, employee salary, and then three employees details I have. So let me set this value as 50,000. Okay, here I have not given the ID, so let me give the ID as 003. Okay, so these are the employee informations I have here. I wanted to apply border for this complete table. So how can I apply? Let's see. I have applied table and table header and table data. All these element selector I applied the border property as solid and green, right? Let's see how it's going to execute. Control O, open the file, table, border, HTML. So this is how the table is going to appear here if I specify the border, right? We have the next property called border collapse. This property specifies whether the table borders are collapsed into a single border or detached. This property value can be set to either separate or collapse. Separate is the default value. If you want everything should be merged as a single border, you can specify collapse as a value to border collapse property. Okay, let's see an example for this. Okay, now by default you can see here it is separate. The border is separate. Now I wanted to give the border as collapse, right? So here border collapse, you have to use the property called border collapse. For this I am setting the value as collapse. Okay, you can make out the difference here itself. Okay, I saved this. Initially it is separate. By default it is separate. Now I am refreshing it. You can make out it's coming with a single border, right? In case if I specify as separate, it's going to come like how previously we had, the same way it's going to come. So let me refresh. So you can make out the changes, right? So this I am giving as separate. Initially I gave separate. Now I am giving it as collapse. So it's going to work like this, right? Now we have the next property called border spacing. This property is used to specify the distance between the borders of adjacent cells. This will work only when border collapse is separated. It should not be border collapse as collapsed. It must be separated. So that only we can identify the distance between the borders of the adjacent cells. Right? Here the values can be set as horizontal spacing and vertical spacing. Here is an example. Let's see an example for this. Okay, now let me change this. Here I will make a separate table. For this I'll specify border collapse property as separate. Okay, as separate. Separate I specified. Now border spacing. Let me specify the horizontal width and the vertical width as 20 pixels. I'll specify spacing, horizontal spacing and vertical spacing. I'm specifying it as 20 pixels each. Let's see how it's going to execute. I'll refresh this. So you can make out here the changes, right? 20 pixels each I specified border spacing. If I give horizontal spacing as 40 pixels, you can see the difference. See, it's extending, right? So this is how the border spacing can be specified. Then we can also specify the caption property, which is the caption side property. This property is used to place a caption for a table. This property value can set to either top or bottom. Caption, we know that to specify the table header we specify or a table name we specify, right? By default it is going to appear in top. If you want to, it's supposed to be appear in the bottom, you can also specify using the caption side property. Let's see an example. Okay, here I'm going to specify caption element selector. For this I'm going to write the property called the caption side. For this I'm giving a bottom as a value. Okay, I saved this. Okay, I have not executed. Previously how it's appearing, we'll see. Caption we have here, employee information, right? So it's appearing in the top. This is the default one. Now I changed caption side to bottom. Let us refresh and see. It's coming in the bottom, right? So this is how the caption side property can be used. Let's see. Okay, we have the next property called empty cells. This property is used to set whether or not to display borders and backgrounds on empty cells in a table. It will work only with the border collapse is set to separate. This property value can be set to either show or hide. By default, it is show. Let's see an example for this. Now in this employee information, let me remove some employee information. Like for David, I removed employee number. For Karthik, I removed employee salary. Okay, if I remove, how it's going to appear in the screen? Let's see here. I just removed. I'll show you. Here two empty cells are appearing. Now when there is no data, I want this empty cells also should not be appeared. So for this we are using the a property called empty cells. Okay, for this border collapse must be separate, and then here I can use in the table tag I'm using empty cells as hide. The value I'm going to set as hide. So now I saved this. Let's see how it's appearing. See, the empty cells are not appearing. So this is how the empty cells property can be used. And the next property we have width and height. These property can be set to table, and it can be set to the specific tag as well, right? Specifically for table header or table row it can be set. So this is how it's supposed to be set, either in terms of percentage or pixels. Now let me specify table as like height and width. Let me specify as 60 percentage. Height I'm specifying as 60 percentage. Okay, then width let me specify as 60 percentage. Let's see how it's going to work. Save this. Let us refresh. So it's already in 60 percentage. Let me show you. Okay, it's in 60 percentage. So now it's appearing in 60 percentage and 30 percentage horizontal and vertical wise. You can also set the background color for the table using the background color property. Let's see how to set this. Let me type background color. Background color property. Let me give cyan. Yeah, saved this. Let us execute and see. So it's appearing here, the cyan background color. You can see the code here. For the table tag, we specify the background color as cyan. Okay. Thank you for watching.